Hi there, welcome back to the CISSP Success Toolkit, Twister of the Day 117. I think we have done a great journey till now and you guys are enjoying this entire series. Definitely all these questions I am preparing to prepare you for your CISSP exam. So let's go ahead and see today's question as well. I deliberately made it a lengthy question for you today because sometimes you see these kind of lengthy questions also in your CISSP exam and you should be prepared for it. So with that said, go ahead and take 1 minute to answer this entire question. If even takes like 15 seconds extra also, it is completely okay. And find your answer and I'm going to explain you thereafter. I hope by now you have already find out the right answer. You have paused the video, find out the right answer. Now let me go through and explain this particular question. A multinational financial corporation is updating its data management strategy. During a board meeting, the Chief Information Officer (CIO) raises a concern about the differences between data classification and data categorization. Which statement best explains the distinction between the two concepts? So before I take up this question, I think this is pertinent for us to understand what is those two key terms. It is a key concept here and you need to understand it from a CISSP perspective. First thing, what is data classification? So data classification is a process of segregating data, right, and then labeling it accordingly as well, uh, based on the value of the asset, right? For example, any kind of intellectual property, any kind of PII, you need to protect some level of information more than others. Uh, some information which is related to your intellectual property might be your trade secret. They are highly valuable to you, right? On the other side, some information which is already there on your website available to the public, it doesn't matter if somebody copied is as well, right? So based on that, in an organization we need to make sure that data is classified based on the value. But how do we achieve this? As a CISO or as a CIO, are you going to do it all the time? Not at all. It's not possible. It's not business logical. So how do we do it is we actually prepare a policy called as data classification policy under the data governance, and in that we make a very clear unambiguous policy which talks about how the data has to be, what is that criteria based on which you need to classify the data, and also we have some examples also which should always be there in the policy. So that is what is data classification. Then what is data categorization then? See, for data categorization, it is not based on, you can think of, based on certain this kind of criteria. It can be based on a different criteria. For example, uh, let's say you have confidential data, and that confidential data you also have some data related to credit cards. There is also some data which is related to healthcare. There is also some data which is related to PII, let's say under GDPR, right? Now all these is under confidential category. How you are going to further segregate that, right? So that you are able to implement particular policies as per your security requirement and compliance requirement. You are able to enforce those policy on that particular data set. So once we classify data based on the value, then we also see, okay, what is that particular category of this particular data? It is related to healthcare, it is related to intellectual property, it is related to employee information and all of that. And based on that, we actually in a horizontal way, we see all different data sets, and we make a kind of logical grouping of this particular data. Now you may think, should we implement categorization or we should implement classification? I would say both of them are very, very important. Both of them are applied at the same time, right? To get the maximum output of your data governance program, right? So I hope that explains you the concept. The right answer here, lengthy questions, right? So I will not go and explain each and everything. I think I should pick up the right one. That is the option number A, which says data classification involve assigning labels based on sensitivity labels while data categorization focus on organizing data into groups for efficient management and retrieval as well, right? So that's the right answer for this particular question. I hope you like this particular concept and you are clear about data classification and data categorization both. I hope you are liking this entire series, and I will see you tomorrow. Thank you very much.